Hi, College Success. Welcome to week 7. Hard to believe that after this week, we will be halfway over. So you're probably tired of hearing this, but I want to remind you again of your student services assignment that is coming up in the second half of the semester toward the end. But again, I just really want to emphasize making sure that you get registered for it, have it on your calendar, attend and submit your certificate of attendance. If you have questions on that, please feel free to reach out or check out the video that walks you through the details. All right, so let's go ahead and hop down into week 7. So week 7 is based on chapter 5. So the chapter 5 lecture video is already uploaded in there if you want to take a look. Chapter 5 is going to focus on different reading strategies because whether we like it or not, academic reading is a huge part of just the overall academic process, and approximately 80% of what we learn in the college classroom is done through reading of some sort. Especially think of it if you're in an online class like ours, you're doing a lot of reading on your own, reading directions, reading PowerPoints, reading whatever it might be. So this chapter really focuses on kind of reading strategies, note-taking with the reading, and the different types of reading that you'll engage in. So you can check out the materials folder. It has the text link and the slides. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the assignments. So for this week, go up here again. For this week, you are going to have this like traditional week. You have a chapter 5 discussion. Your original post is due by Wednesday for your weekly attendance, and you're going to respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. You have a chapter 5 assignment and a chapter 5 quiz. Both of those are due by Sunday as well. So let's jump in under the assignment area, chapter 5 discussion. So your prompt is, imagine you were given a chapter to read in your American history class about the Gettysburg Address. Write down what you already know about this historic document. So that's part 1. Excuse me. I am not grading you on how much or how little you know about the Gettysburg Address. If you need to Google it to refresh your memory on anything, feel free to do so. But what I want you to do is think through your prior knowledge. That's the entire point of this process, is thinking through prior knowledge. So spend a sentence or two talking about what you already know about Gettysburg Address. Now, the meat of the question is right here. Please don't forget this part of the question. I've had students who just simply talk about the Gettysburg Address. That's not the whole point of this. How might thinking through prior knowledge help you better understand the text? So what it's wanting to know is, whenever you think through prior knowledge, how does that inform you? How does that prepare you? How does that get you ready to actually go through and read the chapter or the article, whatever it might be on that topic? And if you're not sure, that's when you're going to go ahead and get into chapter 5 text, chapter 5 slides, or chapter 5 lecture video, because it does talk about prior knowledge and the role it plays in reading. So please make sure that you address both parts of that for your original response due by Wednesday, and then respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. Again, please remember that a response is meaningful. It's not just good job, I agree. I'm going to start getting a little bit more strict with those. So it's, a compare contrast with what you posted, or it's a question, or it's building off of what someone else already said. Okay, so that is your chapter 5 discussion. Your chapter 5 assignment is called the 7 Deadly Sins. So it's going to be reading something and then answering questions. So when you get in there, you'll see you'll have 2 links. Here's the actual article. You're going to open this up, and here it is. It's not terribly long. It's like 2.5 pages, give or take. And I know it's a little outdated at this point, but it's still kind of, you can talk about the relevancy of it. You're going to read through, and hopefully you can see just like the call back to like 7 deadly sins, and it's going to talk about those 7 deadly sins, but in an academic context. So you'll read through this article, then you'll open up this PDF. This is the assignment. This is what you'll actually turn in. And it's going to ask you questions regarding that article. So you have to read this first and then answer the questions. So what is the thesis and where is it located? A thesis is a 1-sentence summary of a piece of text. So basically, you're going to summarize in 1 sentence what this article is about, or see if the article has already provided that for you. So maybe you'll be like, oh, the thesis is in the first paragraph, first sentence. It's not. This is not the thesis. But that's kind of what you're looking for, is what is the thesis and where is it located? How would you describe the author's tone and what made you believe that? Like, how do they feel? What kind of words are they using? Are they sarcastic, angry, objective, critical, optimistic, pessimistic? Like, what's their mood? And how do you know, like, what kind of words they use to let you know that? How effective is their argument? They're trying to make an argument that students have these 7 deadly sins. So how effective is that argument? What are their weaknesses? What kind of holes do they have in their argument? Or what do they do not so well? Or what did they miss including? What do they do well? What are their strengths? Did they use examples or statistics or whatever it might be to kind of convince you like, oh yeah, they've got a good point. Finally then, question 6, do you agree? Why or why not? So make sure you answer yes or no, and then why. If you were to come up with a rebuttal, so if you were to be like, I really don't agree with you, this is my point of view, like what points would you make? And then question 8, what are some of the deadly sins of teachers and professors? When you're done, excuse me, make sure that you save it with your changes, because I'm still having some people upload documents that are blank. So save it with your changes, and that's what you will submit in this Dropbox. And then finally, your Chapter 5 quiz. I'm also starting to see students not answer all parts of the questions, and you're going to see some points taken off. So if you're starting to get 9s or 8s or 7s, it's because you're not addressing all parts of the questions. And I understand there's multiple parts, but please make sure you get to all the parts. Question 1. I'm so sorry. Question 1 says, students today are spending less time reading in the past, but they're not including social media time. So thinking on your own reading, do you spend less time reading now than you did when you were younger? What kind of reading do you do on social media? Do you read like different types of social media pages? Do you do email? How does this differ from the kind of reading you are required to do in college? Do you think overall social media has a positive or negative effect on your reading for college and your professional life? So it's really talking about reading and social media and how those two work or work against each other. Question 2 talks about preset biases. Have you ever considered how you might have preset ideas about subjects or ideas? Do they affect what you choose to read and study? Could they affect the way you interact with people? Explain your past and current experiences in this regard. Question 3, on section 5.2 under allowing adequate time for reading, the book offers several quotes from notable names. I'm going to show you in a minute what this means about the importance of reading. Pick one of the quotes, explain what it means, and if you agree or disagree. So when you go to your textbook, you'll go to section 5.2 and you're going to see adequate time for reading. You're going to scroll down past this picture, and then in this section right here, you can see that you have Thomas Jefferson, George R.R. Martin, where's the other one? Harry Truman. So you have Frederick Douglass. So you have a few notable names in there. Pick whichever one you would like to focus on. So maybe you choose Thomas Jefferson, I cannot live without books. Or maybe you choose Frederick Douglass, once you learn to read, you will be forever free. Whatever one you pick that one. What does it mean, and do you agree or disagree? Question 4, this talks about note-taking. So this is going to focus on different note-taking methods with Cornell notes, outlining, concept mapping. Which of these have you tried? Have you tried any of them? Have you tried apps? What is your experience with note-taking? What methods seem to work for you? So kind of talk a little bit about your note-taking, but address those specific methods there. And then question 5, when you want to learn something, do you read a book or a website? Do you watch a video? Like, what do you do to learn something? And why do you do that? Have you changed your ways over the years? Do you think available media has changed your reading habits? Maybe you used to read things, but now you watch a video on it. So that is your Chapter 5 quiz. So again, just as a real quick recap, please make sure you post your original response to your Chapter 5 discussion on prior knowledge. Remember, they're using Gettysburg Address as kind of the vehicle to get there, but the meat of it is talking about prior knowledge. By Wednesday, respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. Get your Chapter 5 assignment on 7 deadly sins. Read the article first, then answer the questions, as well as your Chapter 5 quiz. Those are both due Sunday as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Have a great week.